let's do this. We're gonna go through some rapid fire stuff, just stream of consciousness.
It's always dangerous.
We talked about your investment in JumpCloud.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see us as a company? Just very quickly, off the cuff. Like, where are we going?
So I full directory service from user through to application. Staying extremely focused on SMB, on self-service for the next few years, continually enhancing the product, and potentially at some point, way down the road, expanding to focus on larger enterprises as well.
Good.
But not now.
Agreed.
But not now. It will. I will tell you this. Having been part of a large company for a while, it's easy for large companies to overwhelm smaller companies. It's easy, and it's really important, the discipline that JumpCloud has to stay focused on small companies, build the capability, keep building it and building it and building it until they're ready to stand up to large companies.
The monster engine we're building is predicated on that whole life cycle. Small to medium enterprise, like the fluidity of self-service, like all these things. We heard you loud and clear. Right. Recruiting.
Yes.
Why would someone want to join us?
Very high growth. I mean, this looks to be doubling every year. Great people. Who doesn't want to live in Boulder, Colorado?
This is true. Yes.
It's one of the great places on earth.
This is like as my wife says, there's plenty of opportunities around the earth to go and spend your, time building things. And we love it so much. It's why I keep telling her, this is why I keep building businesses in Boulder.
Right. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in Boulder?
Yeah.
And as just a great team. And you're solving a real pain point for customers. This is not a small deal. This is a really important thing. You don't have identity. You don't have a good directory in a company. You are exposed, incredibly exposed to security breaches.
Yeah,
incredibly exposed.
We see it, and we get these sort of reports back in from customers that will tell us exactly how we help them. Yeah. And new things that we've launched, System Insights, as you know. Right. Gives so much. The telemetry is incredibly valuable to our customers. Crazy data coming out of system endpoints, which is incredible.
Right.
Let's talk. If you were, assume that in the audience, you were talking to a senior person at some of our companies. Why would the CIO of GE? Why did you find this so interesting? Again, putting your technological hat on.
Yeah. So I remember when we rolled out directory service at GE, and I remember it was hard. It was the big one, as you know.
For sure.
And it was actually controversial because it seemed like a lot of work, and what was the real value of it? And once it was rolled out, and we could do single sign-on, and we could track everybody in terms of helping everybody out in terms of access. It was a game changer. It was an absolute game. It made us more secure, and it made provisioning incredibly easy. And it just streamlined the entire IT function at GE. It really did. It made a huge difference. And I have to imagine that it just changed the scale, but it's the same thing at every company on Earth.
Yeah, good.
So the minute I heard about this, I remember it was a VC with Raj. That was about 4 or 5 months ago, and this makes complete sense. And I had not heard of an SMB solution for directory. And the minute I heard it, I said, yeah.
I mean, when we first were on the calls, I was in London speaking with you.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was such a visceral reaction from you in a positive way. You were, I remember the other partners were speaking, and you basically, I just ceased to talk because you were flowing. And it was awesome.
I got carried away, sorry.
No, but that was like, as me, Raj, Larry, like we vibrate, we're passionate people by our DNA, and when and if we have the opportunity to see that, it definitely, it's like Mercury joining, which we love to see. Again, in the spirit of rapid fire questions, assume a member of the press or an analyst whom we speak with often, but they're hearing our opinion. Why is the inevitability and the modernization of directory services so critical right now?
What directory services do is make it easy to, frankly, provision. That is fundamentally what it does, and to track how people are accessing applications. There are so many ways companies can get in trouble today if you don't have the right access controls. And when you don't have a directory service, managing access controls becomes dramatically more difficult. And things that are difficult don't get done. Having a simple and externally managed provisioning capability changes everything. It just eliminates access control as a problem. And so I just see this as being perfect for that. There's one other piece that I find really valuable about this, which is I've always thought, and increasingly think, when you get into a zero trust environment that everyone's getting into, and in many ways, the two most important things in your environment become knowing what to encrypt, what not to encrypt, and importantly, knowing what to multi-factor authenticate and what not to multi-factor authenticate, because it's a hassle.
It is, yeah.
And you make it easy. You make it easy to do multi-factor authentication, and that's a home run for so many organizations that don't want to have to hassle employees with that. You don't have to carry around a token anymore. It's your phone. It's simple.
Keychain.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
right.
Things have radically
much
evolved.
Much better.
Final question.
Yeah.
There's a ton of boats sailing in the sea of identity and access management, meaning there's plenty of choice.
Yeah.
Putting, again, in the spirit of putting your CIO or the person who sat in that chair, why take a chance on us? Why buy us?
I'm going to go easy on this one. If I'm an SMB, self-service. I got a lot of things I'm trying to get done.
Yeah.
I don't have the expertise, typically, nor the resources. And you offer me something that is full from start to finish, and I can do it easily. No one else can do that. And it's a great solution at the same time. Self-service, and it's a great, broad, comprehensive solution. Who could beat that? I certainly know that when we did our diligence, nobody could. Not close.
Well, my friend, we're at the end.
Okay.
I won't cry. I want to thank you very much. We know your time is super valuable, and we appreciate it.
Delighted to do it.
And great to meet up here in the Palo Alto offices of GA.
Welcome. You're always welcome.